Hey besties! Today we're talking about the dark history of the husband stitch. Kind of fucking gross, but let's just get into it. So, what is the husband stitch? The husband stitch refers to an extra stitch that some women may have received after vaginal delivery led to their perineum being cut or torn. Okay, one. Ew, that sucks. Shout out to women everywhere, and shout out to women who give birth everywhere. Vaginally or C-section. That both sounds like it sucks, but let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Is this legal? So sewing the husband stitch is medical malpractice. The husband stitch is not an accepted medical procedure, and performing this procedure on a woman without her permission is considered medical negligence. So what's the point? The extra stitch that some women say they have received during the repair and episiotomy or vaginal tear is a procedure that takes place after delivery to decrease the size of a woman's vaginal opening. This is to make the vagina tighter, to cause more pleasure for the partner during sex. So, what are other names for the husband stitch? We have husband stitch, daddy stitch, husband's knot, or vaginal tuck. They all sound fucking disgusting. Because they are. So, the origin of the husband stitch. The origin of the husband stitch, or vaginal tightening, traces back to the mid-1950s. Doctors stated that this procedure could improve a woman's well-being by preserving the size and shape of the vagina, either to increase the frequency of an orgasm or to enhance a man's pleasure in intercourse. The vaginal birth canal is a muscle that can dilate to allow a baby to pass through for delivery. Sometimes, the vaginal opening may not stretch wide enough to accommodate the baby's head. Rather than risking a serious vaginal tear, a doctor may perform an episiotomy. An episiotomy is an incision through the perineum, which is the area between the vaginal and anal opening, allowing the baby to come through more easily. Tearing is common and is estimated between 53% and 79% of vaginal deliveries. So, since the husband stitch is not an official medical procedure, there are no studies or medical papers to verify how frequently the procedure takes place or how many women have received the husband stitch, which means for all you know, you have been given the husband stitch and maybe somehow it turned out well or was passed by your doctors of not realizing it was a husband stitch or not telling you you received one. And we have no records of it except for statements by people who believe they had it or were confirmed who had the husband stitch, and we'll get into that. So, does this actually make sex better? No! Short answer, no. Stitching the vaginal opening tighter will likely cause painful sex for both partners. There are no advantages to an extra stitch. The muscle that expands during birth eventually returns to the pre-delivery state. Anyways, so how to prevent getting this? Women should have a conversation with their gyno about their desired birth plan. They should ask specifically how often their doctor does episiotomies and what the procedure involves. Sometimes if you find your doctor has a high percentage of episiotomies or C-sections, you may be more likely to be put through one because of many different reasons. Most likely being the doctor wanting to get your birth over with in a timely manner that is according to them. So, what to do if this happens to you? If a woman suspects that she has a husband stitch, she should talk with her doctor, midwife, or trusted individual. The medical professional at fault if they have performed this extra stitch without the woman's consent. So let's talk about the complications if given a husband stitch. This is gross. So, if you were given a husband stitch, you have increased pain at the incision. So your vagina. You're bleeding. You're leaking urine or feces. You have pus, bad smell, or swelling at the incision site. Persistent pain with vaginal intercourse. An inability to use tampons. Increased risk of having to undergo another episiotomy in future births. Scar tissue formation at the spot of the incision. Prolapse of the uterus. Prolapse of the uterus. That means your uterus falls out of your body. And emotional trauma. So let's talk about 2 cases I could find of people who were confirmed had been husband stitched. In 2010, Katarina Rivers went to doctors complaining about painful sex over the course of 4 years. Although the doctor told her her pain was from her sexual abuse, she thought something else was to blame. After visiting several doctors, a doctor at Sunrise Hospital in Nevada told her she unknowingly received a husband stitch. So next, in Quebec City, a couple sued their gynecologist for $225,000, claiming post-delivery surgery left her vagina too tight to have sex. Husband had asked for $75,000 in damages, according to an article in the Toronto Sun. So obviously there are many cases of a husband stitch, but like I said, this is not a medical procedure. So finding statistics on this is hard to find because this is not a recorded medical practice. So now that we talked about the husband stitch, let me know what you guys think. I think it's an abomination to society. I think women have the portal from life to wherever the hell we come from, all between their legs, and I don't think it's up to a doctor to perform such a selfish procedure to her, such a selfish malpractice against her after such a traumatic or beautiful moment in her life. And if it is your husband, run. Run really far. And maybe look into my episode of Why Men Murder Their Families, because this doesn't sound like a good guy for you. So, let me know what you guys think, any stories you know about the husband stitch, or where did you first learn the term husband stitch, and what did you think of it, and how did you hear about it? I'll see you guys on our next episode. As always, my socials are to the side of me, and I'll see you guys there. And if you guys go to my Spotify, there will always be a poll at the end of the episode. And I'm always checking them, so I'll see you guys there. And I'll see you guys next time for episode 6. Bye, guys.